Well, everybody here today to this fine Thursday in late October, prepping for Halloween. All the scary stuff that brings out, including deers jumping out next to you on the car.
Oh my
drive
God.
down.
Oh my gosh.
They're trying to scare me, I think.
Oh no.
Trying to scare me. Well, I'd like to start off with a joke. I'll be the joke master today. So I'm going to introduce some jokes that hopefully will bring a little levity to the day. I asked if I could leave work early the other day, and the boss said yes, if you make up the time. So I said, sure, it's 20 past 14. Why did the employee get fired from the calendar factory?
You do know the date?
He took a day off. Off the calendar.
Oh my gosh.
What's the best way to make a small fortune in the stock market?
Bye.
Start with a large fortune.
Ooh.
All right. All right. It looks like we have somewhat of a agenda today. Two people aren't here, so I'm not sure if we should anticipate them or fill in around them.
Yeah, we do need a timer and a grammarian.
Timer and a grammarian.
I could take time.
Okay. I can.
Kathy's already signed up for
For-
the general evaluator, just so she knows. I can time too.
Okay.
Makes it easier for you.
I can also grammarian too.
That would leave me one role, so I can split
Oh.
that with you.
Okay.
Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Great. I'm glad to see we're all filling in as needed.
Do we have a speech?
Robin's gonna do a speech. He's gonna leave early, so we'll get
Okay.
on that.
Awesome.
Right, so timer. See. Marion, ladies, or wait, I'm the Marion. All right, let's introduce our roles. We will start with table topic master, who is Kim today.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmasters, fellow. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster. Wow. For some reason that did not roll off the tongue. The role of the table topic master is to come up with some topics and which are going to be 1 to 2 minutes long. This is an opportunity to call up folks who would like to extemporaneously come up and talk about that topic, speak topic. So when called up, I will give it a topic, and that is tabletop master. And turn it back to you, Mr. Master.
Thank you, Kim, for that great explanation. Looking forward to the topics you may have for us today. I'll move on to the grammarian. That's me. I'll just stay up here and just let you know what I'm going to be doing today. Is I'm going to be listening for good word usage, good phrases, as well as looking for filler words such as so. And at the end of the meeting, I'll give my report on each of those. That I'll roll right into the timer.
What's the word of the day?
Word of the day is late. Late. We may have started late today, but I'm sure we'll finish on time. Thank you for that, Kathy. And you are our timer today. Would you mind introducing that role for it?
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Fellow Toastmasters, timer times the speeches, which we have one speech today. Robin, is yours 5 to 7 minutes? Okay, at the 5-minute mark, you'll receive the green. At the 6-minute mark, yellow. At the 7-minute mark, red. Same as well as the table topics, green for 1 minute, yellow for 1.5, red for 2. You have a 30-second grace period on either side. And I'll go ahead with the general
Yes,
evaluation.
please.
Okay, as general evaluator, I'll evaluate the overall flow of the meeting. We have all seasoned Toastmasters here, so I'm looking forward to a great meeting.
Thank you, Kathy. Well, looks like that's all the roles introduced. We knocked that out quickly.
Yeah, we
And
did.
you're not gonna be late. I can document that later.
Got 2.
I would like to bring up Kim to introduce our speaker of the day.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. I am excited to present Robin, who is our veteran speaker. She has graced us this afternoon over Zoom during other busy time to update us on the new pathway features and capabilities. With that, Robin Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Evaluator. Hello, fellow Toastmasters. I'm so glad that I could make it today. I am doing this speech very impromptu because Toastmasters International has made some additions to our Pathways program. They have instituted putting in that you need to do certain roles to fulfill in each level. And if you remember from way back when we had those manuals, we had the speaker competent communicator manual, and we had the leadership manual. And in the back of that leadership manual, you would be checking off the different roles. And there's, because there's different things, different skills that you learn from the different roles. So they are incorporating that into the educational platform now, based on what people have suggested from the membership and the leadership. And then also they are bringing some of the legacy program from the leadership manuals in as projects starting at level 3. So I am going to be sharing my screen so that I can show you guys actually what some of these things look like. So here, can you see my Toastmasters website here?
Yes.
All right. So as you know, we go to Basecamp. And visionary communication was the one that I was looking at. Oh, actually, let me back up for a minute. So a lot of my paths are in the legacy program, and so they didn't get the full updates when they moved to the existing one. But it turns out even innovative planning, which is one of the old ones, they got upgraded with the increases in to the level 1. If you, let me see how many to go back to look at the level 1. I think I go here. So when you look at level 1, it has this introduction to vocal variety and body language. So those would be existing in your existing paths, whether they are on the new platform or on the old one. Those, I think, got added to everything. So you can always go back and work through that project if you feel so inclined, if you'd like to brush up on those skills. So that's actually a good thing that those are in there for people who are doing one of the now called a legacy path. Okay, so let me actually, well, I'll show you this first. So this is the Pathways My Profile, where you're going to be recording what roles you do is down here at the bottom. And so you go here and edit, you select the role that you did and the date. So say I was going to be general evaluator, and select the date that you did that on. So then before you get approved, besides doing the speeches, you need to have done whichever roles are requested in your path. And then I'm going to show you, this is my level 5 requirements when I was looking at, because in this particular path, level 5 is the last level that I need to complete. And now there's all kinds of additional things that I need to do. In demonstrating my expertise. So the one required project was in there before, and then you have an elective projects. You need to do something out of the club, the successful club series and the leadership excellence series. So these are those advanced manual projects that were in the legacy system. And when you look at those, like under you know, the moments of truth isn't a popular one. I think the mentoring one is the one that I'm going to do. And when you click on that, then it actually brings you to the PDFs for the what used to be paper manuals. And it's taking a little while. But so when these are, they're bringing back some of these because it can be helpful in growing the strength of the club. In addition to, so there's one on successful speaking, as well as the other ones are mostly designed as being able to increase your leadership skills and the things that are required for successful clubs. The other reason that they are doing the having people require certain roles to be filled is that is one of the functions of having a successful, well-running meeting, is that people are willing to take the different roles. And so it's also, I think, going to help expand people beyond their box of, well, don't think I'm ready for that. You know, in some clubs, you don't get to decide if you're ready for roles. The VPE just puts you in roles. And I have never taken that approach personally, but if we need to, we could always decide to do that. I think it's better if we do it when people are ready to do it, and we can encourage them a little more. So then you can download this. And then let me just back up. Okay, here. So after the things that are required in the different leadership series, then when I go below that is when I see where my required meeting roles are. And so in this particular level, the level 5 for this one, then I have to be general evaluator twice. I have to be Toastmaster of the day twice and evaluator twice, and then choose one of these additional ones, and additional being all the, you know, speakers projects that I have. And this has added a considerable amount of things required. And considering I'm not being able to make it to our regular meetings, it's going to be really interesting to see. My goal is to actually finish this path before the end of the year. But this has increased my the number of times I have to show up, whether it's for our meeting or getting in another meeting. So I might choose to take double roles on you know, anytime I make it to one of our meetings. Besides doing a speaker, I might also choose to do something else. And then let me just scroll down here, figure out how to back up. Get my lighter. So once you have, and then in case you guys haven't really seen what these look like. And you can always do more than one elective. You don't have to while we're waiting, does it, have I passed my mark? my physical timer that I set said, it's at 8 minutes.
Sorry.
All right, with that, I'm gonna stop
Sorry.
screen sharing and give it back to the Toastmaster.
Terrible job.
Thank you, Robin. Good speech. I was feeling the same thing. I was thinking, wait, I mean, but she had her phone. I'm like, she's gotta be there. But boy, my sense of time is way off today is what I was thinking. Thank you for that. I did not. Well, actually, I knew about the upcoming thing. I got the email. However, I hadn't been to the website to check that out. So thanks for sharing that, Robin. Next, we will move on to table topics. Looking forward to hear some exciting topics from Kim today. Unless I think I know what. Am I thinking what you're thinking? You want to evaluate Robin first, and
So at least inquire.
will that fit in your time?
Timing. Mhm.
Can we do table topics first, or do you want to be evaluated first, Robin?
This is
Go ahead
me.
and evaluate me first.
Evaluation, I think she said.
Oh,
You're pretty echoey.
Yeah, evaluate me first.
Okay. Well, Kim to Kim. Kim to from evaluate to Kim to table topics.
thank you, Mr. Toastmasters, and especially Robin. Without any extra timing, I'm gonna try and give it my best shot to give you a proper evaluation immediately, right after your speech. I'm going off the good, better, best method and a couple of things you could work on. Good visually, Robin, you were ready to share. You had everything logged in. I thought it was great to be able to, when you present a computer, that you have a lot of things lined up, which I saw that you were already logged in tab, because the last thing that you want to do is wait for things to load up. Obviously, that's as you continue on later on, the other things that you went off was loading up. But that at least is a good start. For better, I saw the tabs on the site that you're already thinking in the head, even though it was impromptu, you were at least prepared to show some of the stuff. You went and showed all the different area, explained the different area of pathways and which one you were choosing for best, which is what you were trying to explain to us this whole speech. You explained about the leadership series. You highlighted the requirement of meeting roles for those things, and you expanded on what was available that was coming back from Legacy for those of us who didn't know about Legacy. So overall, I think with the intent of your speech, you give us a good starting point of what we can look forward to as we log into pathways, as we start looking into doing our speeches and what changes are coming. Couple of things you could work on. I noticed at the beginning that it seemed to be really shaky. I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's a vibration. But from my perspective, it was very shaky, like so quick that it was hard to focus when I was looking. And I don't know if that just is something that's vibrating where the computer is sitting on or anything like that. And just one little other call out is from you is maybe, I know the timing wasn't there, but maybe an ask to call out to our current VP of Educator to maybe give this presentation again, because it is a new feature in Pathway. And so that is my evaluation. Thank you again, Robin, for sharing us and telling us about what's new in Pathway. To you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you for that detailed evaluation, Kim. And it's your turn again. The table topics. There we go from Kim right back to Kim.
Kim squared.
I'm beginning to figure out as you take multiple roles, you get a lot of exercise in the meeting as well. As the table topic, Master, I wanted to bring out an issue that I've been dealing with the last couple of weeks. No, it's not a health issue. It actually has to deal with capitalism, I think is probably the right word for it. So we all know that Disneyland, oh, some services, there's an extra perk when we buy special membership. Like, for example, a good example is Disney Fast Pass.
Mhm,
Does anyone understand the concept, right?
mhm.
You gotta buy, you already paid to get in, but you gotta, and all the rides, but you gotta pay an additional thing on top of that. For me, this just happened last week, and it deals with the mountain and it's snowboarding. So Crystal Mountain, which is the mountain that I will be going to, has implemented this new premium feature called Advantage. Or Reserve, I'm sorry, it's called Reserve. The idea is that you already bought your pass, but if you want to skip the line, you can pay an additional amount. So my table topic is there, what is your thought of that type of benefits from either services, sports, or things? You can even talk about the existing that in place for the Disney Fast Pass or something else that you maybe do. Well, I wanted to know your thought. All right, Justin, you're up.
Thank you, Kim. My thoughts on the special perks that these places may or may not give. That is a challenging thing, because if you look at it as the overall picture of what's going on, they want to make money. They want to make money to ensure that they can keep the operation going. I don't know that it's always greed, because sometimes there's a tight profit margin depending on what business you're in. And you need that little extra to help out. Maybe you want to do some upgrades. You see it maybe in your neighborhood, you have an HOA association, they collect their monthly dues. But guess what? They own the roads, they have to pay the roads. The monthly dues don't pay for the roads, so they have an assessment. So that could be an option to maybe get some little extra money to make some upgrades. But most of the time I found is probably just wanting to make more money and allow the people with money to get a special privilege. But what I noticed about Disneyland, I was one of the first group, if you will, that was part of the Fast Pass, which was pretty neat. And it was free. You would just go in, get a Fast Pass, and you had a appointed time slot to go in, and you got so many per day. And now I understand you actually have to pay for those. And that is where I feel it's probably inequitable in some ways, because pretty soon you're paying for an extra service, and maybe you can't afford to do that as well. But I've also heard so many people are doing the Fast Pass, and now there is no difference. So why have a Fast Pass? You might as well stand in line. So ultimately, I feel like there is a balance that we have to walk, and maybe you're a business owner and you're trying to do something like that. There's definitely a balance. Initially, the Fast Pass I thought was neat. It was free. It was just a special bonus for people. All you had to do is stand in line. There's a special time. Maybe it was slower. I think that's pretty neat. I'm all for that, as long as it doesn't cost extra. With that, I hand it back to Toastmaster here. Or the table topics master.
Thank
All
you,
the-
Justin. That was well put elegantly, to the point where I think you almost swayed me to believe that it's a good thing too. Or maybe a bad thing. You were so
Mhm.
50-50. I don't know where to go with it. Kathy, would you like to give it your opinion?
Sure, sure.
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master, Mr. Toastmaster. Honored host. I have experienced the Fast Pass at Disneyland. I felt that I was being gouged personally because of the expense of the hotel, everything was so expensive, and to get in only to wait in the long lines in the heat. I also can see where those who have the resources to pay a little extra can get ahead so they can get through. I like that idea too. However, when you marry that with everybody doing that, what is the difference? There's a balancing act between having these perks, these advantages, which it all boils down to me, socialism, I mean, or capitalism, where he who has the most money wins. So am I a fan of that? No, but I also like to win too. So I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence on whether or not it's a good thing or not. In the end, it's whoever has the money really sees the benefit, and those who don't really get to sit and watch those who do. And I hope I'm not the one that's watching this, that. Thank you. I was trying to look. I'll turn it back over to tabletop semester.
You again, Kathy, for your opinion and elegantly, putting the pros and the cons between both ways. I too was initially, and still is, I think, in the camp of the con because of my current situation and the type of sporting activity that it is. I felt that I'm already in a certain amount of money, and now the company, the business is trying to get more money out of those who are me and those who are in my position specifically, and that's just trying to undermine people who maybe are at the edge where they can't get that time benefit. And I would label myself that. So maybe it's a very interesting things, and I hope it turns out for a good thing that will benefit everyone in the end. But at this point, there's just I can't see that. So it was something that I've been, because it's one of my favorite sports to do in this winter time. I've been very vocal about how I felt to my other friends and family. And with that, I will turn it over to our general evaluator.
Want to go some more or is that
Or
a little more time? We won't go late.
oh, okay. Well, we definitely have a lot of time.
We
And if you wanted to do another,
Yeah, I'm good. Is Robin gone?
you do that. Okay.
Robin's.
Yeah, I think she's.
Yeah, okay.
I don't have another topic in mind. Happy to create one. Right. I don't have one in my mind unless you have one.
Want me to get up and talk about
Oh.
something? Yeah,
You
you
know
can
what?
ask me a question. I'll try and answer it.
No,
Bring in
part.
There we go.
Yeah.
All good stuff.
These are
I'm gonna
the
random
table topics are good.
I'm gonna random pick one. Just for everybody. We'll go in order again.
Okay.
Just in your. What's oh, this one's an easy one. We've done that before. Oh, there you go. What one goal do you hope to accomplish this year?
One goal I hope to accomplish this year. That's a good question. There are so many things that could be. And what immediately came to my mind is Toastmasters. I want to accomplish the next level. And that is proven a little bit interesting to do, is I particularly don't like the new website, the web layout, and what they ask you to do and how you have to fill it out. And I'm not bad with computers. I'm really, really good with that. And just don't like it. So I'll be straight with everybody. And that is a goal I probably should keep. But overall, wouldn't it be great to just complete the year and have a good year, remain positive through the year? Even though challenges come up, such as extra fees and you can't snowboard, but still remain positive that, hey, you can still snowboard. There's still a mountain you can go to. Maybe there's another mountain you can go to. Maybe we'll build a mountain over here if I can have our own snowboarding thing, right? And as frustrating as things may be, I try to encourage myself in that things could be worse and it's all pretty good and we have it pretty well. And I just want to continue that note, and oftentimes I'll struggle with things that are negative and not positive. I think it's important for me to continue that throughout the year, and that could be my goal as well. With that, I'll turn it back to Kim. Toastmaster. Pick a topic.
Yes. All right.
Master of some sort.
Thank you, Justin, for giving us your one goal before the end of the year. I think that will be my goal to close. Question for you, Kathy.
Okay.
What obligations do you believe you have to your country?
Oh,
We've had this before.
Oh, we have? Can I change it? Do you want a different one?
I had that.
Oh,
What obligations do I have to my country? I believe we all have a citizenship in the country in which we reside, happen to be, we're in the United States. So we are citizens of the United States. Now, what that entails might mean something different to different people, depending on who you talk to. However, I think it's important to remember that you pledge allegiance to your country and not to a party or to a people. It's unification, which is how I see my citizenship. I'm part of the United, which it says it in its name, United States. So I am a citizen first of the United States. That's how I see myself. Now, there are subcategories of my citizenship that I won't go into, but I am a citizen. And I'm complete.
Kathy. Give me your thoughts on your obligation as a citizen. That is so cool to combine the united piece. I really like that keyword. For myself, what's the hardest thing you've ever done? Ooh. I think the hardest thing that I've ever done physically have been climbing Mount St. Helen. I did that a couple years ago with some friends, actually a couple of years, like almost 10 years ago with some friends. And it was a 2-day trek. We went the night before, woke up really early and was at the base ready to hike out at 5 o'clock in the morning. Now, I didn't practice for this, but I remember it took us 6 hours to get to 3/4 of the way where we hit some snow and then we had to change boots and then we were just hiking up this peak, like the last stretch. And that took another 2 hours to finish. And I was so exhausted. It was the only couple of times where physically I took 1-2 steps and I was gasping for air going, am I gonna pass out on the side of this mountain? I also have the other hardest thing I think, which is still going emotionally, I think is actually raising a couple of child. But I won't go into detail on that one because my time is up. With that, I'll turn it back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Right. Thank you for those great table topics, Kim. It's always great to go around and speak off the cuff impromptu. That's definitely a challenge and a skill to have. So thank you for those couple rounds. Moving on to the next portion, we've done the evaluation. So now we will go to the general evaluator to complete the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. Today was a great meeting. We have a skeletal crew, however, you could just hit me. We, as Meridian Toastmasters, we always find a way to make the best of our time because all of us have other things we could be doing and we all choose to be here to volunteer to improve our craft. So number one, kudos on those of us who are here, who are present. We started on time. I really thoroughly enjoyed the speech Robin gave concerning pathways, and I'll evaluate the evaluator, which is Kim. You did a great job in expressing being ready, and Robin is that. I love that you hit that she is ready. Even though it was an impromptu slide, you hit that right on the target. The areas that I think you could have given her some corrective or constructive feedback, because it's always good to hear the good stuff, and it's always good to have something to work towards. So I think that part might have gotten missed in efforts to give all the positive attributes. So areas that I think she could have worked on had to do with her actual slides. She did not use slides, she used the actual pathway, which that was great. But I think to come up with some impromptu slides would be great. And you can do that with Chat GPT. You can just put in something and you can literally create slides in seconds. So I happen to know that because I've done that before on the slide. So giving her some constructive feedback, that being one. Everything else was right on point. Our table topics, ooh, that was great because we all were able to speak extemporaneously, which is what we practice, this craft of speaking. This is what we do. So I love that you switched it up and we didn't just do the same thing over and over. So that was great. Everything else, I didn't time myself. So everything else I think flowed. We have a good way of flowing with Meridian Toastmasters. So at this time, I'll go ahead and call for the reports, and we'll start with the Meridian.
Hey, thank you for that great evaluation. It was shocking, you're right, those were shocking. Good.
Not too late.
Not too
Not
late either. Okay, there you go. Start off with my report, giving Kathy a word of the day. It's not late. With that, I will move into my report. I'll just start with Kim, because he started talking first. Good word usage. Wait, let's go with the bad first. Let's start with that. I counted 3 uhs, 4 ums, and 2 so's, mainly in the evaluation. Good word usage. Roll of the tongue. Veteran speaker. Graced us. Thinking ahead. Intent of the speech. At the edge. Last stretch. And gasping for air. Very good complimentary for me on those. Robin had 13 ums, 2 and so's, 2 uhs, 2 you knows, 4 so's. Good word usage. Incorporating. Educational platform, feel so inclined, encouraged a little more, and considerable amount. Couple repeats, existing, and these are. Kathy, I missed a little bit because I was too focused on your first little bit that you did, so I didn't get all of it. But I did get 1 and 3 ums. Good word usage. If I can read my handwriting, watching those that do. That sound right? Watching those that do. Socialism or capitalism, citizenship in country, allegiance to your country, skeletal, and improve our craft. Good word usage. And that is my report for today.
Yeah. Good job, good job. And the report for the timer is as follows. I am fired as the timer because I did not time Robin's speech, but she said it was around 8 minutes, so it was over. Let's see, Kim, table topics twice, 1 minute 32 seconds, 1 minute 30 seconds within time. Justin, 2 minutes 4 seconds, and 1 minute 26. I had 109 and 125, and that completes the timer's report. So great meeting, guys. Great meeting, and I'll turn it back over to our president.
We'll do it okay.
Fill in, thank you, thank you. I agree, great meeting. We all pulled together. We got 4 of us. We got all the roles filled. Nice job on this great day that we had. And yeah, I like that we just make it flow, we make it work. And I don't have any news to talk about. Does anybody have anything to share?
Do you think you want to do that pathway presentation? Because I don't really understand it either. I mean,
Okay,
I'm learning, but I don't quite get it.
yeah, I can do it, like, as far as the new portion, I'd probably have to go through it myself and
Mhm.
figure out
Yeah.
what's what.
I think it means more to Robin because It's-
Advancing.
she's advancing in that area and she was the VP
VP
of education
forever.
for a long time. So like she probably knows in and out, even like the little changes. Like I think what I got out of that was, there's a series piece where
Our
it's
roles.
enforced. Yeah, it's enforcing the role so that you should do this and then also get credit for it. And
Right. That's
and,
good.
Probably a box you have to check.
yeah, just like I think there was like there was requirements for like being a mentor, for example, was
Sure.
like the only one I remember. So I think the same idea except for meetings.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah,
that would be
I can look into that.
and
I know one thing I struggle with on the website
Oh,
is
let me-
knowing where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, it says you've completed it, and then I can't move to the next one. Why can't I
And
move on?
why?
But
Yeah.
there's